Come on, Combs. Oh shit. The fuck is that? Really? Really? Oh my god. The Anvil. Alrighty, so here is going to be me going over my passive tree and why I made some choices. So before we get into the ascendancy, my goal with this build was to be a high regen life leech build, which I think I managed to pull it off. It's working pretty damn good, to be honest. So I made this as a Marauders. I eventually went a Berserker because they get so much life leech, it's ridiculous. So I pretty much made my way into the Duelist area, and to pick up as much life leech as I could. Like I got Master of the Arena, Golem's Blood, and then Art of the Gladiator is so good. His attack speed is very important with this build as well. And a little free movement speed, really, but I mainly took that for the attack speed, because the more attack speed you have, the better. So my goal was to get 200% life without jewels, because I believe the way life leech works is you can only leech 20% of your health a second. So the more life leech you get, the better. So I went and got a lot of life regen. So 1% here, I got these two nodes, but mainly got it just because of the jewel socket. And yeah, so that's it for life regen. Next, my goal was to get about 450% increased damage from the tree with a whole bunch of jewel sockets. I think this build was planned for 6. So I managed to get a whole bunch of jewel sockets and the damage that I want. I got the sword wheel here, I got the two-hand wheel here, the melee wheel here. I only got one AoE node, or AoE is really good with this build. I don't use Conk Effect or anything, so it's not really needed to get any more. That and with the buff / nerf. And then I got the wheel here at the Duelist. And then with my jewels, I was focusing originally on life and then 2 damage ones. So like a jewel like this, for instance. So that's 22% increased damage, maximum life. You could probably roll that better, but I might divine it. I don't know. So we got that one there. Pretty much the same thing here. We got area damage on this one. I think this jewel was 15C. Not mistaken. This one was 5C. I got a good deal on that one. This one my buddy found out of a chest, actually, so I got both these jewels, the mirrored one and the unmirrored one. It's a very good jewel. I wish it had life on it or attack speed with two-handed weapons or something, but still, like 36% increased damage there. I'm not sure what is the other one here. No, I can't remember where the other one is, but I'm using the other one as well. Actually, I think it's over here. There it is. So that's like the non-mirrored one. But it's really, those jewels increase my damage a lot. Like if you want to know how much, my tooltip is 43,204. I think that's all of them. Now it's 35.6. So it almost gives me like 25% increased damage, which is pretty crazy. Just for jewels. And these jewels aren't even like the greatest. So that was my goal with the jewels, is to increase my damage. So with the jewels and stuff, I got about 230% increased life. And where's the other one? Over maybe 500-600% increased damage from the tree. I don't get any elemental damage nodes because I use Starforge, so you can't do elemental damage with weapons. But a big thing to note is the Razor's Edge here, which gives 15% chance to increase or to cause bleeding, which is crazy with the unarmed range, because that really helps with the AoE, as well as I don't think it gets affected with the AoE nerf because it's weapon range instead of area of effect. So I don't think the diminishing returns affects it too much. But I'll leave a link to my tree down below. Yeah, if you want to know how much life I regen with my golem, I use a stone golem. Is 722 per second, and then I'm not even sure how much I leech. 45% movement speed. It's pretty good. It's not in the negatives. It's a bonus. I don't really have much armor with this guy because my defense is my leech, my life regen. It works really well. When it comes to gear, I'll just start off with the weapon first. I use Starforge. I always wanted to use this sword. It seemed really cool. I managed to divine it into a really good percent. When I bought it, it was like 404 or something. I bought it like a week into the league too, so it was like 7x, which is pretty expensive. It's probably down to like 4 now. But for uniques, I use that. I use Comb's Heart, just more health. More health you got, the more damage you can leech. And with the whole Berserker, the Berserker nodes as well. I should go over that, I almost forgot. So the Ascendancy I picked was Berserker. Like I said, I wanted to go with Massive Life Leech. So Cloaked in Savagery. It's pretty crazy. Like 100% of your damage leeches life if you're taking a savage hit. A savage hit is 15% of your maximum life, which constantly happens. It's a huge buff to your damage. It's a massive buff to your damage. And then we have physical attack leech per second, so life leech rate, which makes you leech your life faster. So I got a fair bit of that as well. And then this node right here will handle your mana leech. That's way more than enough to sustain my Cyclone. And then I went down into Crave the Slaughter. It's really good. Movement speed if you haven't been hit recently. So if you're like running around trying to find the last mobs on the map, it's just nice having that extra movement speed. And you're always getting hit, so it's pretty much a permanent 25% attack speed buff. It's really good. Attack speed's everything with Cyclone. And then fizz damage, attack speed, and then Aspect of Carnage. This is another reason why you want a huge life pool. Is you take increased damage, but you deal much more. I think when I got this, my damage went up like 1500 or 15k, which was ridiculous. So anyway, back to my gear. Pretty sure I have the sword somewhere here. This is the sword to use if you don't have enough for Starforge. This sword is very good. It's very underrated, I think. I think you get it for like 1C. But it pretty much 50% increased damage is on the sword. Because with the passive node on the tree to inflict bleeding with swords, you pretty much constantly have that 50% increased melee damage against burning enemies. You don't crit, so that doesn't affect you. Too bad you don't get the blind, and then you get the leech. So it's a very good sword until you get up to Starforge. So if you can't afford a Starforge, Kondo's Pride is excellent. As for my other gear, that's most important, is a Carnage Heart. Very, very good amulet for this build. I don't know why it's so cheap. It's so good now when they buffed it. You just get more damage when leeching, which we're constantly leeching. And that big thing, 50% increased life leech per second, is insane. It's just more leech. And then all resist attributes is underrated as well. You don't have to worry about dex with these or int with these. You will have enough of those stats for all your gems that you'll need for something other than a strength gem. My helmet is just a rare, a decent rare at that. I think this cost me 15C. It's nothing special, and I'm leaving that enchant on there because, you know, if you get that enchant on a Hubris Circuit, you just made money. But I've been throwing all my enchants on a Hubris Circuit, so trying to mix them. Ideally, I think you would want Cyclone damage. The area of effect is not really needed since we don't use Conk in this build. You could if you wanted to, but I didn't want to use it. I crafted this iron ring. It's not the greatest. You'd want some really good iron rings. They increase your damage a ton, like 43,204. So that increases my damage by 600. Doesn't seem like much, but when you're bleeding and poisoning, it's a no-brainer. It just, most of your damage comes from bleed and poison, so that scales even more. I just got a breach ring. It's not the greatest. It works. That's one of the next items I want to replace. Going back to the Carnage Heart, ideally you would want to corrupt one to get +1 to curses. That'll allow you to run 2 curses because you can't really run any auras with this build, but I'll get into that in a second. My belt, I just got a Rustic Sash with life and some resist. I'm probably going to get another one eventually. But the increased flask effect duration is really good for your flasks. I'll get to that in a second. For boots, I just got movement speed boots with strength, really. And I managed to pick up a pair of these with this enchant. It's pretty good enchant. Attack and cast speed if you killed recently. It's good for doing Uberlab, quickly spin through some skeletons, and then leap around, spin through some skeletons. These gloves I stumbled upon on accident, but they're actually probably the best damage gloves you can get for this build. It's crazy. So you get damage over time. Attacks have a 25% chance to cause bleeding, which I don't know if it's multiplicative or whatever with the node. It doesn't matter. You hit so often that stuff's just constantly bleeding. The big thing is this 37% increased attack damage against bleeding enemies, which I believe double dips with the poison and the bleed itself. So it's just your poisons and your bleeds hit for a lot more. It's just free damage, really. And then exploding enemies, it's really nice. Yeah, it's just skeletons can't get resurrected. And then reduced bleed duration's no big deal. You're constantly bleeding enemies now. But that's it for my gear. For my links, I eventually want to get a 6th link, obviously, on my Starforge. I'm trying to get some more jewelers. But right now, since you can't do elemental damage, my links are Melee Fizz. I tried to corrupt it to a 21. Didn't work. It's not a big deal. It's only 1% more. Cyclone, 20%. I want to corrupt that, but I'm not going to, as I'll probably get a shitty Evolve version. Void Manipulation for chaos damage. 20% that. I haven't bothered. I should probably try to corrupt that. Added Chaos. I tried to corrupt that. Didn't get anywhere. It's a big boost to your damage. I do 448 to 675 chaos damage. And poison. It's a poison build. Tried to corrupt it. Quality went down. But yeah. I don't know why I have Warlord's Mark. I never use it anymore. I kind of used it while leveling. It was kind of nice. And then for my gloves, I got Leap Slam, faster attacks. And then purity of elements, because remember, hatred and like purity of fire and stuff doesn't work with Starforge because you can't do any elemental damage with it. And then I only have rapid decay in here because that's going to be my 6th link whenever I get it. I'm not using conk or anything. For my boots, I have a Summoned Stone Golem with increased duration, cast when damage taken, and Blood Rage. Those two, the Blood Rage and increased duration, are for each other. The Stone Golem, the cast when damage taken. I'm lazy. I don't want to cast the thing. For my helmet, I have Enfeeble with Blasphemy. If I get a +2 curse, I will put Vulnerability. You can use Vulnerability if you want, but I feel that this build does a lot of damage as it is, even though Vulnerability will increase it big time. Significant increase in damage if you use Vulnerability, as it makes you hit harder and it makes your bleeds, your damage over time stuff better. And then I use Decoy Totem for, I don't know, I just love the totem. It's OP in my opinion. Taunting enemies makes them do 10% less damage. They get the enemies off you for a second so you can leech your life for, like for Azaro's, like, or not Azaro, Argus's enraged phases. It's pretty good for that too, if you can't take the hits yet. And then for my flasks, I want to replace this one with a Divine. But essentially, I just need an instant recovery flask. I don't know what I would have as a suffix. Bleed removal, curse removal, freeze removal would probably be the best because it sucks getting frozen because you need to keep hitting. Your offense is your defense to keep spinning to win. I got an Eternal Flask. This is my bleed removal. Ideally, you would want one that has faster heal. I had one before, but I needed a bleed removal once I got my Sin's Rebirth. It's both a great offensive and a defensive flask. Defensive for blinding enemies. It's really good against any melee enemy ever. Just they lowers their chance to hit by 50%. Lion's Roar can be a bit of a pain at times. Still very good. The knockback is you get used to it. The only problem with the knockback is we do so much AoE that if an enemy has a proximity shield and you use a Lion's Roar, you actually hit them outside of the proximity shield and push them around, so you're not doing any damage to them until the Lion's Roar wears off. It's kind of annoying at times, but it's entertaining. And then I have an Adziri's Promise. Just more damage, more damage, more damage. With no frenzy charges and all the flasks up and none of my berserker buffs, I got 96k. Tons of, it adds so much to my chaos damage. It's crazy. With all my buffs up, I think I'm at about 140k. But yeah, that's pretty much my build. I'll add a video of an Uber Lab run after this, and I can do a quick map. So I'll do a really fast map. I'll do a shaped museum. Don't ask me why I shaped it. I'm just like, I'll just fucking shape it. So we'll do normally that's a good map. I'm not LE weak capped on this guy, so we can do let's just do a quick museum. It's tier 14 map. And I can show the build off. Hopefully I don't crash. This one doesn't seem too bad for mobs, but as you notice, I don't really need my life flask, and the Lion's Roar, even though the knockback seems annoying, it can be a real defensive thing as well. Like, it is a granite, but if you go into a room that's so full of stuff, it'll push them all away from you, and since your AoE is so big, you'll be able to hit the melee mobs, but they won't be able to hit you, which is really, really nice. So we got that. So we got a trial in here too. I'll do that after. One thing to watch out for is Fizz Reflect. Most of your damage is physical. It's either physical or chaos, since you don't do elemental damage. So elemental reflect maps are perfectly doable. They take a little bit to... I'm just gonna grab Flask real quick. This boss is kind of hard. Tier 15 or tier 14. You still gotta like play it safe and stuff. For the most part, like you don't. This build's really tanky. If I got some good jewels, like life-wise, like if I divine my jewels and get like 5 or 6 or 6 or 7, maybe 8% life on it, I'd easily have it over 8,000 health right now, which is doable, for sure. So this might be a little. This is actually will show a good test of how well this build can. So it seemed like I took a lot of damage there, but at the same time you're leeching so much that it's like your potions are like supercharged. So that was a tier 14 boss. Killed him really fast, only in a 5 link, no vulnerability. Just enfeeble. So 108k. With frenzy charges up. I would not recommend using Blood Rage for trials, because it just sucks that much more health from you. Especially if you're not comfortable with traps. If you're comfortable with traps, go to town with it. I'll just quickly get this one done. It's not the most efficient map. I got an abyss. A goddamn abyss. I don't do like shaped map strats. I would get bored running like shore and strand like for hours and hours on end. So that's why I don't use it. That's my opinion though. Like, I'm not planning on hitting 100. I might do it, but I would rather help like other people do Uberlab and stuff that aren't very comfortable with it. Get to know the community a bit more. But I shaped like the maps that I like to run. I mainly shape this one as I always have wisdom scroll problems. So it's like, oh, scholar cards drop. And I got like 40 scholar cards now or something. So between this and like Scriptorium, my my divination cards are good. So stuff like that, just they come in, you just push them away, and you're good. It's really works great with like shield chargers and stuff. Oh, there's a scholar card. That's pretty much my strats for keeping my wisdom scrolls up. I hate picking them up. I know I could do like a lot of breaches and stuff, but... And this guy's really good at farming breaches as well. As long as you know the fights pretty well. But yeah, that's this map. I hope you guys enjoyed the build guide. Hopefully it wasn't too long. And I'll see you when I see ya. Yo guys, this is gonna be my Uber Lab run just to showcase the build on my character. Did a video before this and I messed up and died to a trap, so I have to do it again. Sigh. But really good lab layout today, so I figured it'd be a good day to showcase the build for this part of it. So this won't be too long. It takes like 10 minutes or so on this layout, which is pretty good. It just seems like the first two trials are like right beside each other, and then the third one. So I'm going to be killing Argus and doing our 3-key run, so it'll be a total of 4 keys. And we got a little exile here. That was the last one that we had to kill. This is one of the trap sequences that I cannot stand. I died to this trap sequence a lot, but I'll show you the one I died to on my previous video. Oh shit, I thought. For being a dummy. Just gonna pop this to get splash charges. Strong boxes are good for that. So the trial should be over here. I've been doing a lot of help with people in Global 820 as well. I might get a thread going soon for doing Uber Lab runs for people. So the first part's going to be, I believe it's conduits. Which, if you don't have Comb's Heart, I would not recommend doing the conduits because you do get put into one-shot territory. So I use Sin's Rebirth to keep them blind. And that's that. Note this isn't a 5-link. There's a couple more pieces of gear I need to get, but that'll be explained in the video. So that's the first part done, and then the second part, we just go up and to the right, and then up to the right again. So it's just up and to the left here. And then I think it's over here. So this will be the second part. So the second part's portals. Pretty much do portals in my opinion with any build. It's a free key in my opinion. Between portals and once in a while his lieutenants. So the way I do a phase is I put a decoy totem, because then he'll attack the totem. Usually. This time he didn't. And the totem will debuff his damage. And then you can just go. So next we are going to kill Argus. Like I said, it's a really fast, it's a good lab today. It's one of the best labs I've ever been able to run since I've been lab running. Hopefully I can help some people out later. So we gotta go to the left up here. We can go to the right, but you'll miss Argus, but you'll also miss a gold door. But you can see with the way my gloves are working that it's causing the enemies to explode, which is helpful, I guess. That's just an added thing. I wouldn't get the gloves just for that, but always run against Roombas. Don't run with them. That's how I died last time. On my last video that I was attempting to make of Uber Lab. So Argus is usually to the left here. Having a little issues here. So pretty much with Argus, if you don't have a lot of health, utilize the decoy totem when he enrages. So I can kind of show you. So right now he's not enraged. Now he's enraged, so throw a decoy totem down. And he'll attack that until he's not enraged anymore. And then just go back in again. Pop your flasks. Kill him. With the other sword before this one, it'll probably take 3 or 4 enraged phases to kill him, but he's still pretty easy. Then make sure you leave zombies alive. Just so you can refill your flasks. Go on to the next area. At least on this layout. On other ones it doesn't really matter. So we got a golden door here, so we got to get the key. This is where I died on the last video that I was attempting to make. To something really dumb. Like, oh, it was so dumb. I pretty much followed one of these things around the whole path. It was really stupid. We just gotta watch it in here too, since Cyclone, it's a movement skill, so if you Cyclone in these green things, you will take damage from it. I just ran around the complete circle, so if you wanted to see what that trap sequence was like, there you go. So anyway, let's do this like we're supposed to. So go down here. Kill stuff to get flash charges. Keep running through. So this trap sequence is one of my least favorite. So always go against. Now with my massive life regen, I'll just sit here and regen life. So I want to leave a few of these skeletons alive because I usually take a lot of damage in here. So I want to hit the switch. It'll send those things out. And then it'll allow me to go in and get the figure 8. With my, whoa, almost died to, the bleed traps are horrible in here. They crit you, and it's just like, oh my god, the health. And that one's not so bad, just follow them around. Make sure you hug the wall like completely. So just go in here. Oh, grab the golden key, obviously. And open the golden door. I can't remember if was arrows over there. The final room's got probably my favorite layout. I love the burning floor or whatever one. So my strat for him, especially on this layout, is I want to lure him with decoy totem, and then not burn my flasks right away, but wait till he does his first like teleport thing, and then burn him down. That's how I usually. Sometimes I mess up. So there's this teleport thing. Now burn him down. With this gear, you should be able to burn him down, but with any other type of gear, just when he does it again, just move out. The worst thing you can do is get teleported, because it could set up like your positioning, or mess it up. I mean. So I'll show you guys the loot. Probably not the greatest, but alright, 17% gems, that's not bad. That one will sell for sure. That will sell for a lot actually. But in case you're wondering what we got, Evolved Lightning Trap will sell, Minion Damage might. Yeah, maybe added lightning, I doubt it, it's not super popular. And then I've been enchanting Hubris Circulets. Yeah, so it's kind of crappy.